Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where yes, we have another Fog of War puzzle for you today, and this one is called Taran, and it's by the utterly terrifying IcyFruit. An incredible constructor, just incredible, but every single one of IcyFruit's puzzles that I've attempted has been monstrously difficult. I've looked at it. It's only got 4 stars out of 5 on Logic Masters Germany, and a wealth of comments expressing utter amazement at the construction here. And yeah, I'll read you the rules in a moment or two, but we are going to have to put our thinking caps on as we read the rules, because they are slightly unusual. And I don't know what Taran refers to. Is that Taron Egerton? And if so, why? I don't know. What was Taron Egerton? Kingsman. I really like the film Kingsman. And the Elton John one as well. Anyway, it might be something to do with Elton John. I cannot say. That's Maverick. Maverick's about to buzz past. That's taken just over a minute. What a surprise. Sorry if you hear aeroplane noise any second now. That's not my fault. Now, what else did I need to mention? There were several things I needed to say today. The first is we're streaming tonight. Braid is the game. This is it. Oh, my window must be in a different place today. There we go. This it's a platform game, apparently, with puzzle elements. I have no idea how it's going to go, but Mark and I would love to have your company. 10 o'clock tonight UK time. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. That's the first thing. Now, what's the next thing? We're still closing in on 600,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed and you enjoy the channel, please help us get there. We've got a free puzzle pack arriving as and when we do. Over on Patreon, we've got my solve of another brutal puzzle, not an IcyFruit puzzle this time, but a Phistomefel puzzle, Skyscrapers. So if you like very long videos, that's over there. And in just, 2 or 3 days' time, on the 1st of June, we have this very, very special competition starting over on Patreon. The Constructor Blobs has made a Sudoku hunt themed around the Lord of the Rings, and this is just wonderful. It is just wonderful. You can see some of the artwork there, because Blob somehow has got the sort of one of the world's premier Tolkien artists, Ted Naismith, to agree to using his artwork in the pack, and the whole thing looks spectacular. It's just really cool. It really is. So that's coming 1st of June, 4 p.m. UK time, over on Patreon. So look out for that. And then I've got a load of announcements to do today, including one quite interesting one, I think. Well, they're all interesting, but one of them is puzzle related. So let's start with that one. In fact, it is the pedaling pianist's fathers. Pedaling pianist being a constructor who's appeared on the channel many times. I think the pedaling pianist's father may be called Stephen. I could be getting that wrong. I was given only a very small hint as to the name. But anyway, it is. Let's call pedaling pianist's father Stephen for the purposes of this discussion. It is his birthday today. Many happy returns. Now, the pedaling pianist didn't give us much notice about his father's birthday, and sent an email overnight where he said it's his father's birthday, and could we do one of his father's puzzles. And Mark looked at the puzzle that Stuart, the pedaling pianist, recommended, and it relied on a secret to do with yin-yang puzzles, which oh, sorry, there's a big siren going past, which is a secret that Mark hadn't heard of. Mark then investigated said secret and deemed it impossible to find in a video. I.e., if I'd sat here all day, I wouldn't have discovered the said secret. So we were unsure what to do in that regard, because we wanted to sort of say happy birthday to Stephen, in inverted commas, but we weren't sure whether that puzzle was going to be suitable. Anyway, Mark then said, well, you're never going to discover the secret, so he told me what the secret was. And the secret is intriguing, and I'll share it with you now. It's in a yin... Oh, actually, I will share it with you now, but if you don't want to know the secret and you want to try the puzzle without knowing the secret, don't listen to the next bit of the video. The secret is that in a yin-yang puzzle, where the border of the yin-yang has two colours, so it's not all one colour. This is getting into esoteric territory. So let's say it was that and that. Then the amount of one colour shading, not including the corners, will always be an odd number. So in this, if this was a yin-yang, ignore the corners. There would be an odd number of purple cells. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this apparently is impossible, which is very, very strange. So this couldn't be the answer. This could not be the solution in the 9x9 grid. Now, apparently there is some proof of this over on the internet, but the fact is we don't know how to approach doing this really. And I was going to suggest if anyone out there can create a very short video explaining this clearly, why that proof exists, we might try and use it on a video or put it on Patreon. It might allow us to do something with the pedaling pianist's father's puzzle in some way. I don't know what that thing will be, but I wanted to say happy birthday to Stephen, and I wanted to do something, if we could, puzzle related, but I was told I wasn't allowed to. It wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. But anyway, happy birthday. I hope you have chocolate cake, and I hope this makes some sort of sense. I'll put a link to that puzzle under the video, and you can all go crazy on it and then tell me what's going on. Anyway, next item, I need to wish good luck to Leslie and Noel on your move to Yorkshire today. This is your son Pete let us know that today is moving day. Wishing you a very happy retirement. And you also made me smile because just this morning something on some social media recommended me the 4 Yorkshiremen sketch from Monty Python. So your trip to Yorkshire, I'm sure you won't meet any Yorkshiremen like that, but that sketch is something that I find absolutely hilarious. I'm not going to attempt to quote any of it now, but anyway, Leslie and Noel, good luck. Next, a birthday. Cy, it's your birthday, and I know this because your wife Angelica wrote to us. And said that you watch nearly every day, and the two of you even try the easier puzzles. I'm not sure if this one's going to count as an easier puzzle. We'll see. But anyway, Cy, many happy returns. Next, Asheen. Asheen, you've turned 23 today, and I know this because your friend Andrew wrote to us and said that you've been watching since the Miracle Sudoku. That was a few years ago now. And you got Andrew into watching too, and now the two of you race over Sudoku. That is great news. Although the thing that wasn't great news, Asheen, is that I'm told that you're planning on having sponge cake today rather than chocolate cake. I cannot tell you how that fills me with horror. But anyway, Asheen, many happy returns. And then Ray, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your partner Simon wrote to us and told us that you'd got him hooked. I love the way everyone's getting everyone else hooked on Variant Sudoku. It really is splendid. And now Rosie, who turns 9 in just a few days, is also watching. So the whole family affair there. So Ray, many happy returns. And I hope you have a great day today. I think there was even mooted the possibility of sponge cake in your household too. I just can't approve of this whole sponge cake fad. That needs to be got over quickly. Anyway, let's have a look at Taran Edgerton by IcyFruit. These are the rules of the puzzle. Normal fog of... Oh, it says normal fog of war Sudoku rules apply. Okay, well, I can explain what that means. So normal Sudoku rules mean that we need to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Fog of war Sudoku, you can see this grid is covered in fog. And the way this works is that, let's say we discovered the value of this digit and we put it into the puzzle. Now, I'm not going to do that in case I happen to guess right. So I'm going to put a little digit in. Let's say I put a 5 in here and it was correct. It would reveal the fog. And then we'd learn more about the puzzle. Now, the crucial thing is that don't guess, because you can ruin these puzzles by just guessing. If you guess this digit, put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 in there. One of them will be correct, and it will reveal the fog. But that's not the idea. The constructor has designed this so that by just showing us these 5 cells, we can deduce logically where to place digits and thereby reveal the fog in a very specific order. It's a fantastic idea. Anyway, that's normal fog of war Sudoku rules. Now, okay, here's the strange rule, or the start of the strange rule. Lines travel orthogonally or diagonally through the centres of cells. So we can see there are some lines in the grid. They do not branch and do not cross themselves or each other. All given lines are a different colour. So what I'm taking from that is that these all look yellow to me. I hope that's not wrong, or are we going to get ourselves in a right pickle here? So I think these are all the same line. But if colour blindness prevents me from solving this, that will be a disaster. A grey dot may hide part of a line. Right, so there's a grey dot that's there. That may hide part of a line. I have no idea what that means. Anyway, let's keep reading. Lines are region subset lines. Box borders divide lines into segments. If a digit appears in a segment of length n, it must appear in all segments of length n or greater on that line. All lines have at least 2 segments. So quite what that means, I'm not sure, but let me finish reading the rules and then we can come back and think about it. In addition, a digit on a line indicates the number of times that digit appears on the line. So if there was a 3 on a line, then the number 3 would appear 3 times on that line overall. If there was an 8 on the line, the number 8 would appear 8 times on the line overall. But then, yeah, this business about the segments is odd, isn't it? So if, let's say use the pen tool here, if I just join this up like that, let's just try and understand what that means. So if a digit appears in a segment of length n, so that's of length 5. So if I put a 6 in there, then every time the yellow line reached length 5 within a box, I would have to write a 6 onto that segment. That is absolutely bonkers. Box borders divide lines into segments. If a digit appears in a segment of length n, it must appear in all segments of length n or greater on the line. All lines have at least 2 segments. I mean, that is, let's just say, deeply strange. Anyway, do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. The first thing I'm going to do is go back to the pen tool. And by the way, if you don't have the pen tool enabled, you can't see how I'm drawing these pieces. Just click the cog icon and enable the pen tool. You can see I have everything enabled, or everything meaningful. So I always have the pen tool enabled. And look, it's going to allow me to sort of extend these lines whenever I can. And that one is pink, so I can extend that one slightly. Right, that didn't, it's not done a great deal, has it? So, what does this mean? The length of the line can't be, the length of this massive yellow line can't be greater than 45 cells. There is something I think I can say with certainty. Because that's related to a secret, by the way. The secret I share with only my very favourite people. And the secret is that the numbers in Sudoku, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, sum to 45. And because, so let's say I put one of every digit on this yellow line, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1, that would add up to 45. So I couldn't make the line 46 long because I couldn't put enough digits on it. You know, I'd have to have 10 9s on it, or I'd have to have, no, I'd have to have 9 8s. When if I put an 8 on the line, I'm only meant to have 8 8s on the line. So that is a limiting factor. Now, we don't really know how this goes though, do we? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this all has to join up somehow. Ah, that's an end. Sorry, I hadn't noticed that. That's an end of the line. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh no, it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near 45. Okay, sorry. Okay, it's going to be something about this this line segment thingy. So how does this work then? If we have a very short line, let's go to a different color and play around at the bottom. If we have a very short line, you can't. Well, that won't work, will it? Because then, yeah, that won't work. Because the rules say that if I put something here on a length 1 line, length n would be 1. So as soon as this goes in here, this would be the same digit. So okay, so we have to have lines of at least length 3. And now this digit. So this digit would appear again on this line, wouldn't it? Because whatever that digit is, in fact, that would be if the line was only of length 3, that would be a 2. Because the 2 couldn't, because whatever is in this position, whatever's on the length 1 piece has to be on the length 2 piece as well. And there's only yeah, so okay, so if a line has a length 1 piece, that digit on the length 1 piece will count how many boxes the line goes through. Because imagine this was a 4. I don't want to put 4 in case it's correct, but imagine that's a 4. Well, because that's the length 1 piece, any other segment of the line, wherever the line goes, is going to be either of length 1 or more. So that 4 would have to propagate on the line into every box the line visits. So this 4 would count. Now the problem is that there doesn't need to be a length 1 piece on a line. But anyway, my line here would have to go like this, I think, because this is only visiting 2 boxes, so this is a 2. I need to then put a 2 on this line segment, which would have to go there. That would have to be a 1, because it needs to count how many times it appears on the line. This is quite interesting. So let's try it without doing a length 1 piece. So let's try and do it with a length 2 piece. In fact, I don't want to sort of, let's try something like this. So that's a 2, 3 and a 4 piece. So what happens in this situation? So in this situation, whatever I put in those 2 squares, hang on. Whatever. Now I think I've broken this. Right. Okay. This feels wrong. The reason it feels wrong is I don't know what digits I could... Right, so on any line, if we identify the shortest segment on that line as being of length 2, which is exactly the case here, then I know, don't I, that whatever digits I put into these two squares have to appear in there, and they have to appear in there. But that they also have to count how many times they appear on the line. But that, if this is the shortest segment on the line, they would both appear in every other box, and they should be the same number. That must be right. So I think every line, because I think the rules cause every line in this puzzle to have a one-cell segment. I'm sorry, I realise I'm speaking very slowly. I'm trying to make sure that I agree with my brain. If the shortest segment on a line was 2 cells, or any, it doesn't matter how many cells it is, then that length segment, every other box that line visits would have at least that length of segment, because we're defining that as being the minimum. And so that those digits on the shortest segment would appear on every other segment, and they would have the same number. They would be the same number, and they can't be the same number because they're in the same box of the Sudoku. Right, so this line I've drawn is impossible. I can change it. Boom, I've changed it. Now, does that logic propagate in the sense that now this ought to be on this line a 3? Because now we've already learned that the one cell segment counts how many boxes the line visits overall. So this needs to be a 3, but now there's a problem here, isn't there? Yeah. It iterates, because now I have to put 3 into, say, those squares on this line. But funny noise out there. But now these two squares definitely have to appear. Now, yeah, this would be the next lowest segment length, wouldn't it? If you like, these two squares then have to, because this is longer than this, these two squares now have to appear on this segment, and therefore they ought to be counting how many times they appear on the line, but they both need to be 2 now. That can't work. So, yeah, okay, but this is more complicated than we might at first think, because that doesn't mean that you have to go from a length 1 to a length 2. Because say that this was that we adjusted this to be like that might work, because now this can appear twice on the line, and that would work. Yeah, so they don't have to be in order. They don't have to go 1, 2, 3. But overall, the line... So right, so overall, for as many boxes as the line visits... So say the line visited 1, 2, 3, 4... It does actually. The yellow line visits 6 boxes. So let's say it visits 6 boxes. One of those probably there... or there. Oh, I've had another thought. Can the line... Ah, right, here's a different thought, totally different thought. Can the line go into a box twice? No. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Because, yeah, I mean, you can see it here. Well, yeah, I mean, let's explore what that would mean, for example. That's going to require us to repeat the shortest segment's digit, which in this case is a 3, on this segment, isn't it? So whatever the shortest segment digit is on a line, it has to appear on every segment. So if there were 2 such segments in one box, that digit would necessarily be repeated. So there's no way. Yeah, so what I'm thinking here is, how could I put 3 loop ends or 3 line ends into one box of this puzzle? I think that's impossible, because I'll necessarily, if I do that, have a repeated digit, which is the digit on the yellow line that appears in the one cell segment that I believe has to exist on the line. I mean, I realise this is some very complicated sentences, but I think that was logical, what I just said. So I am going to claim that that is impossible. Well, yes, I'm going to claim that, but actually I'm realising this line can go diagonally as well, so I'm going to actually just build a wall between this digit. Ah! I've got something else. Right. Yeah. So hang on. Yeah, there's got to, right. So I now know where the 2 ends of the line roughly are in this puzzle, don't I? Because how could this cell here? I mean, it can grow and be bigger in the box, but how can we do that? For example, we can't do that, because to do that would be requiring us to enter this box twice, and we can't enter that box twice for exactly the same reasons that we can't have three ends of the line in one box. So this line here never exits box 1, so its end is somewhere in box 1, its other end is there, and that's all very well. But, so what does that mean then? Right, so let's, hang on, let me just delete this. So what I'm claiming is that somewhere on this yellow line there is a 1 cell segment, and that 1 cell segment will have the digit in it equal to how many boxes this yellow line eventually passes through. And that digit, whatever it is, and we know it's at least 6, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know it's at least 6. So let's say there was a 6 here, and this is a 1 cell segment. Oh, hang on, no, this isn't an end. Oh, no, hang on. Oh. Oh, I haven't got the 1 cell segment. Oh, this is weird. Right, this is probably important. I haven't found a 1 cell segment yet. Sorry, what I hadn't realised until I just thought about it is I know there's an end somewhere up here. I know there's an end here. So these have to continue. So that can't be a 1 cell segment, i.e. an end. Oh, but hang on. Yeah, so the 1 cell segment in this puzzle is not the end of the loop, because that's definitely not a 1 cell segment, and neither's that. So somewhere in this puzzle, the yellow line, I think, it just clips a box, and that box that it clips is either Yeah, and it can't re-enter a box. I was wondering whether it could do that. Do that. But it can't do that because that re-enters a box. And we know that the line is not allowed to re-enter a box, because that would cause two segments on that line in the same box, and the digit that was the one cell segment would repeat in that box. So that means that I think either box 8 or box 7 is visited by sort of let's say that sort of thing, and then that digit. Oh, more shenanigans going on outside. That digit will be the one cell segment. So how do we do this then? Right. Okay. Well, this is one end of the loop, and it may not be that cell. It could be anywhere in there. This is one end of the loop. So I'm just going to circle this cell. I'm not saying that's the end. I'm just doing that so that I can think about the path that the loop takes. Now, clearly, I think this cell here can't connect to this, because to do so, it's then going to close the line. This will never become part of the line. So actually, well, if that okay, so that being the case, this line segment here never goes in box 5, does it? Because if it goes in box 5, it would have to connect here directly, because we can't enter box 5 twice with the line. So this, right, so this is also a forced series of thingies. And that means that yeah, so very broadly, I can now see how the line works. The line goes from here to here, somehow, don't know how. Let me just sketch in. The red is for example only. Then it goes from here to there, somehow, don't know how. But it doesn't go to this bit of the line, because if it did, this would have to cross the line, the yellow line, in order to get back here. So this somehow connects to this, and then this somehow connects to that. But the interesting thing about that is, how do we connect this to this such that this line has a one cell segment in some box? Now clearly, to get this to there, we are going to have to cross somehow box 8, aren't we? I don't know how we're going to do that, but there's no way, because we can't go into box 5 again. We're going to have to cross box 8, and I think the only... This is absolutely ridiculous, because this, I can now see this is going to give me a digit. It's going to give me that square. Because to get from box 8, we know that box 4 can't have a one cell segment in it. So the only place a one cell segment could exist within a box is here, in this box somewhere. And the only way we can cut just one cell is going to be to go through this square. We can't go through that one, because we can't get out of the box within one square of that one. So that is on this cell here. This is on the yellow line, and it is the only... We don't really know how the thing does it. It could do something like this. It could do it in a variety of ways. But this is going to be good, because now we can just count. Well, it's 8, isn't it? Because the yellow line is now going to have to visit 8 boxes. The only one it doesn't visit is this one. And the reason it doesn't visit this one, just to double check, is because if it visits this one, because there is no end in this one, it would have to dip in and out. Yeah, it couldn't go in here. and then not enter a region that has already been entered, if you see what I mean. And therefore, it never goes in box 3. And this square, I believe, is an 8. Now that is quite a lot of thinking we've had to do. How long is that? 35 minutes of thinking. Whoa. Well, it's right. that is a cause for celebration. Right. So now what do we do? Well, now by the earlier logic. Now, my feeling is that, yeah, my feeling, I don't think if I quite articulated this, but I think I've internalized it, is that once we've got the one cell segment, which is this one, obviously, there is now, I think, going to have to be a 2-cell segment, and then there's going to have to be a 3-cell segment, and then a 4-cell segment. And the reason for that is, let's say that the next smallest segment on the yellow line is a 3-cell segment. Well, then on that line, there's going to be 2 digits that are not 8. And because that is the next smallest segment, those 2 digits have to appear on in every other box on the line. And they would need to have they need to be the same digits to count properly, and that can't be right. Feels right. Is there any way that that's not true? Is there any way that that isn't true? I don't think that cannot be true. It feels right to me. So what we're going to have next is a 2-cell segment, and then the digits on the 2-cell segment are going to be 8, obviously, and then 7, which will then appear on that segment, obviously, and then the remaining 6 other segments that we know must exist within the puzzle. And then we're going to have a 3-cell segment, which is going to have 8, 7, and 6 on it, etc. So, all we have to do now is deduce. Well, this is good. Where is the 2-cell segment? And because of where IcyFruit has put the positions here, that is a 2-cell segment, I think. I can't get out of this box in 2 cells. I can't get out of this box in 2 cells. So this is a 2-cell segment. It's got an 8 on it. That's there. This is a 7. This is getting easier. This is absolutely brilliant. So now... Well, now, hang on. Can I... Hang on. Yeah, I mean, that has to close like that, doesn't it? And there has to be an 8 on that segment, so that's got to be 8. 7 is in one of these squares. 7 is in one of those squares. Okay, let's keep going. We can propagate some of these lines a bit further. Hang on, this one. Yeah, remember this one here was meant to join to that one, so it definitely doesn't join to this one. We don't move that one up there. That one's doing this, look. That one's doing that. Now. Okay, this is a good question. Where's 9 in column 4? 9 never appears on the line, because if 9 appeared on the line anywhere, the line would have to go into 9 different regions, and we know it doesn't. So that's 9, I think. Oh no, no, we got a new line. We got a new line that's emerged. That's got to have a one cell segment on it somewhere. And it's obviously not in box 8. Yeah, but it could go a wandering, couldn't it? I'm not sure. What about... simple. Where is 8 in this box? 8 must be on the segment, the line segment. The lines don't overlap. I'm sure that is something that I've read. I'm sure it says that somewhere. If it doesn't say that, I've totally misunderstood the puzzle. Yeah, they do not cross themselves or each other. Right. So this can only go there. In fact, it must go there because it's got to get out of the box. And it can't bump into this one anymore. Sorry, that's obvious. Oops, don't want it to be that colour. That's got to go there. And now, where's the 8 on that segment? It's got to be there. Good. Now... Well... that's interesting. 8 in box 9 is down there. So this has to get down there somehow. Because it must pick up an 8 on it. No, that doesn't impinge upon what this blue line can do. At least I don't think it does. So 7, which must appear on that segment, is in there. So that's not 7. What a fascinating puzzle, hey? This constructor is something else. Just completely and utterly original. It's just a bonkers way to employ the fog of war mechanic, but it's so correct. Once you start to understand, you do need to cover up the line. You do need to cover it up to make this logic and to make a puzzle with this logic. If the line had just been unclear, it would have been disappointing. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, okay. So the next question is which yellow segment is 3 cells long? And I am going to claim, because there's an 8 down here. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Well, no, I'm only just right. Okay, I didn't see one possibility, but it's okay. It's ruled out. I was thinking of that as suddenly as being possible, but that's going to bump yellow into the blue line, isn't it? Yellow can't come down there because we know the blue line's got to get into another box, and we're going to cut the blue line. So it is true to say that the line's presence in box 9 is not only 3 cells long. So the only box now that can take the 3 cell yellow segment is this box, and it's already got 2 of its segments on it. So its last movement is, it doesn't go into box 3, so it's into one of those squares to get out. And these squares are from 6, 7 and 8, and that is not 8. And that is... Oh, hang on. A grey dot may hide part of a line. That's insane. Right. I hadn't thought about this, but there's no other explanation of what a grey dot means in the instructions. So that grey dot is literally in the puzzle because IcyFruit is trying to say, I as a solver am not allowed to assume. Yeah, it's trying to say that could be a line segment, I think, which means it will be a line segment. because this grey line is obscuring. I think what IcyFruit is saying is that because of the thickness of the yellow line, if this grey circle wasn't there, I would have seen the yellow line moving because this cell is visible. By putting this grey circle in, it covers up the shadow that would be left by the yellow line. So we basically know that's going to be where the line goes, but we're not allowed to assume it. That's extremely strange. Okay, so what does that mean? I have no idea. Oh, I'll tell you something easy. Yeah, that's right. This is the 4-cell segment, isn't it? I don't know quite how this leaves box 8 and goes into box 9, because I know it doesn't go into box 5, because box 5's got to go into box 6 to connect with this line segment. But these have got to be 5, 6 and 7, the next 3 highest numbers below 8. Yeah, actually I should do this all the way round, shouldn't I? So this segment here is going to have all of the digits 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So it doesn't have 1, 2 and 9 on it. Oops. Okay. Hang on. Ah, no. Oh, goodness me. This is lovely. Right. Yellow connects to this. I don't know how it does it, but somehow that segment there, that line end, is going to connect to that. It's going to actually have to dip down here to get the 8. But that's going to trap this in. This can't now get up here. No, it can't. It can't, because this isn't allowed to go into box 5. The next movement for this yellow line is either there or there, definitely. And whichever one it is, blue can only ever get into box 9, and it must get into box 9 because all lines have at least 2 segments. So this is the 2-cell segment of the blue line, and therefore it contains 1 and 2. And one of these digits is is one of these. I was suddenly thinking, could it be that one? It can't be that one, because then the yellow line would have to cross it, because I know the yellow line's coming into one of these. So, alright, so 2 in row 7 now is over there. These squares are a 3-4 pair. And if that line goes to there, that will be a 2, that will be a 2, that will be a 1. Oh, I've got a spider running over my screen. You won't be able to see it because obviously my software is recording what's actually going on in the screen, not over the top of it. But a money spider has just run down the screen. Okay. So it's now climbing back up again. This is where it is. It's just climbing. I never like to hurt spiders, so let me just see if I can get it off the screen. Hang on. Come on. Come on. No, he doesn't want to get off. No, I can't. Oh no, now it's on my pencil case. Okay, well at least it's not on the screen anymore. Okay, so maybe so what line segments have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3 I think is in here somewhere. 4 is in here. So I need 5, that's 6, isn't it? So I need 5, 7 and 8. So this one is either 5, 7 or 8, and so is this one. Well, that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that one's already 7. So this is 7 or 8. So either... Okay, this one can be 5, because it can go to there and then there. Or there to there, and then up, which is what it's going to do. So how are we going to work this out then? Where's 9 in this box? 9 can never appear on the yellow line. So 9 is in one of those squares. So 9 is in one of these squares. So then it's going to depend, isn't it, on whether this... So if this one closes, then this is a 7 length line. So there would be no 1. So there would be a 1, 9 pair here. But if this one goes here to down to there, or there down to there, then it's just the 9 that's off the line in box 2. Okay, that's tricky. But there's no... Right, hang on. Right, this line goes into this box. Now, if this was length 7 or length 8 in box 9, then it would have a 2 on it, wouldn't it? I feel that's right. A length 7 line would contain 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah. So, yes, and we know that the 2 is on the blue line in box 9. So this cannot be a length 7 or length 8 line. This is a length 5 line, and therefore it has the digits, sorry about this, it has the digits 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 on it. So this is a 4, because it can't be any of the others. It's so simple once you see it, but I didn't see it like that at all. Right, look, we can draw the line virtually. Well, this is beautiful, because now that can't be a blue 2. So that's a blue 2. So that's a 2, that's a 1. We're getting a little bit further. There's a little bit of children's noise today. It's half term, so I hope that's okay. Right, so these digits are now... Well, that's the only place the 8 can go on the line is there. So that's 8. Whoops. This is 5, 6, 7. There's a roping. We are a roping today in... Oh, this is good. That's going to get me a 7 in the corner. I feel... Whoa! Given digits a go-go. Oh, look. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight losing its religion. Oh, that's fabulous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 here. It's probably resolved somehow. Oh, that's a 1. I've just noticed by Sudoku. That means this is a 2 by Sudoku. These two squares are 4 and 9, so I'm going to get this one. That's a 3. These two squares I'm going to get. This is a 1, 9 pair. Now, well, these digits are now known. They're 4, 5, and 6 actually. So up here we need 1, 2, 3, and 9. So 2 is definitely in those squares. 1 is in these squares. I'm not sure if we can do better than that. We probably can. Oh, this is exciting though, isn't it? Because all of a sudden we're doing a little bit better. That was when getting given digits all of a sudden. I mean, these are slightly strange to get given digits given to you only after you've done nearly an hour of thinking. But that's what seemed to have happened. Okay, so now that's not 8. That's 6, 7, that's 5. So but I have to put 8 on this line segment, and I know there's a cell in one of those cells that's yellow to get the segment out of the box. So one of those is 8 by Sudoku. It's going to be this one because of the dotty thing. So let's disprove the other. So if it goes up here, then it's got to enter box 5. And oh, here's another thought. I can't see why that doesn't work immediately, but what I'm thinking now is that this box and this box together have got to have the 7 length segment and an 8 length segment. Which is presumably, oh, there's a 6 X-wing. 6 there, 6 there. So we can ask where 6 goes in row 4. Look, it can't be in these squares or these squares. Oh, we don't actually know. Sorry, I was hoping that was going to have more resolve down here that would help with that, but apparently not. Golly gosh, what on earth am I meant to do here then? I haven't really thought about this one. If I knew and if I knew this was a tiny one like this one, that would be a 1-2 pair. Which is fine, probably. And then that would have a 2 in one of these squares, probably. I would resolve that. But I don't think, sorry, I realise I stopped talking there. I'm just trying to work out whether, I mean, the most this could be would be it could visit 4 boxes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, could it do something like that? It probably can't. No, it can't go through a 9. So it definitely. So if it does visit box 2, it would have to do it very carefully. It would have to do something like that. But I don't think. I'm certainly not prepared to rule that out on the basis that I'd be able to see a pink line going from there to there under the fog. I just don't think that can't be what we're meant to do. No, that would be, well, if it is that, I don't like that. That's weird. This line joins to that somehow. And those join up somehow. Yeah, okay. So there is space for this to visit other boxes. But if it... But if it... Yeah, it's quite difficult for that not to actually just be a 1. It can't be a 2 by Sudoku. So, if it's any bigger than 1, let's say it's 3 or 4, I think it can only be 3 or 4 if it's not 1, because it can't be 5, because we can't get this into 5 different boxes. Let's say it was 3 for a moment. Well, that means I've now got to get a whole cluster of 3s onto this line. I've got to get 3 3s onto the line, which means it must visit 3 boxes. And if this was 4, it would have to visit 4 boxes. Now, how easy is that to achieve? The thing is, we don't know a great deal about 3s. There would have to be... Yeah, actually that is quite interesting. Because if this is not a 1, I think that rules out it visiting this square. Because if this is a 3 or a 4, this well, if this is a 3 and it tries to visit this box, we know it can't visit that square because it needs to get into another box as well. It would have to take that square as well, and that would put a 9 on it, and that would require 9 9s on the line. So that's not right. And so the only way it could get into this box is if it took that square, and that was the place that it took the 3, and there would be 2 3s on the line, or 2 4s on the line, depending on what this was. So it doesn't go into this box, I don't think. So I think if this is not a 1, it's a 3, and now it has to get a 3 here somewhere and a 3 here somewhere. Now the 3 here somewhere is going to be in one of those squares. And the 3 here is going to be exactly there, isn't it? That's fascinating. Because we can't get 3 or 4 there. So there's going to be a 3 there on the line. This square now can't be 1 or 2 or 3. And we know this can't be 4 because it would have to go there. So this is 3, this is 3. So the line is going to have to do that, definitely. This square is going to be a 1. That's the only 1 that could then appear on the line. No, this is... Oh, no, actually, maybe that's okay. It's very difficult. This is very difficult to believe this works. Because there's going to have to be a 1-cell segment, isn't there? And we now know where that segment is. That's in one of these squares. So there is definitely a 3 in one of these squares that is the 1-cell segment on this line. And it can't be there, actually, because that would clash with there. So it's in one of those 2 squares. But then there needs to be a 2-cell segment and a 3-cell segment. So what are we going to decide this is? That can't be a 2. So that has to be a 1. Which means this has to be a 3-cell segment. Is this going to work, isn't it, I think? Because I think what we can do is 2 there, possibly 2 here. Three in one of these. Now what's wrong with that? The answer is... Well, I've got a different thought about that, actually, which is still going to be useful. So I'm happy if this is the only way we could do it. Yeah, so I'm now going to claim that the only way that this can be not a 1 is if it's a 3, and if the line goes very specifically in this way. And I'm not certain whether this works or it doesn't work for a technical reason, but what I can tell you is that if the line does do this, and then take a 3 in one of these squares, there is definitely a 1 here. So there is either a 1 in one of those 2 squares in this puzzle, whether or not this is a 3. And that means that is not a 1. And I'm going to remove my purple line and my pencil marks, and I'm going to write 1 in there and 9 in there, and that does almost nothing. Oh, well, no, it has done something, actually. It has done something, because that now, surely I can see there's definitely no yellow line in that cell, so this grey line is not doing it. It didn't hide a yellow line. Sorry, I'm a bit discombobulated by this. But that's not allowed to be 8 anymore, so that's 8. Whoa. That's done a lot. So now, this is beautiful, because this is the eighth length line. So that's got to be 9 in the middle of the grid. That means that this needs to be a 7 length line and it needs to close, which means these two squares are a 1, 9 pair, which means probably something. That's not 7, that's another given. Oh, we get another given digit in the middle of the puzzle. Oh, look, and this naughty old pink line didn't do anything complicated. So this is just, right, that's a 2. And this is a 1, 2 pair, and that all gets filled in. Oh, this is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, 3, 4, 9 in this column. Don't know if we can do that. 8 I can place in that square by Sudoku. 8's in one of those two squares by Sudoku. 8's in one of these two squares by Sudoku. 1 is in that square. We've almost revealed all the fog. We have almost got all of our 1's in the grid as well. But we haven't quite done it yet. We've still got to... there's much shenanigans going on a trampoline at the moment as well. There's a 2 there, so that's a 2. And that's a 9. So 9's here, 1's here. By Sudoku, 1's there. How many 9's have we got? Several. That's not 9 anymore. 3, 4 and 5 into those squares. Oh, something's going on. That's a 6 by the looks of things. That's not 7. That's not 7 if I use the given digit, which I can't. It's funny, I honestly couldn't see that for a moment. My brain had to sort of adjust. It doesn't like black given digits. It just doesn't see them because I get them so rarely. Okay, so that was a little bit more Sudoku-y type stuff. Where's 2 in the middle row? It's got to go there. So there's a 2, 8 pair now in box number 2. So we need 4, 5 and 6 into the gaps. And that's got to be a 3, 4 or a 5, not 4 because of this digit. Have we nearly utilised... No, there can't be anything under there, can there? Because the lines have to go into different boxes. So I think the fog up here is not going to be it's not going to do us very much good. Oh, well, no, I spoke wrong. There is a given digit hiding in the corner. Oh, well, that's lovely. So that's a 5. Is that doing useful stuff? Maybe. What about... Oh, I don't know. Come on, Simon. How long does this take me? 1 hour and 8 minutes. I'm not actually... Oh, 4, 6 pair here. I'm not too embarrassed about that. There's a 7 here by Sudoku. So that should be a 3. Therefore, that's a 4. This is a 3, 5 pair, so that should be a 4, 3, 5. 5, 3, 3. 2, 3. This is a 4, 5, 6 triple in the middle. In the middle box. 7 comes out of this square by Sudoku. 5, 6 pair. Okay, that's a 7. Again, not using the middle digit there. So this is a 5, and that's a 6. 4, 5 here. That's not 5 anymore. Whoops. That's a 4 in the corner. Oh, this is a 9. This is a 4 by Sudoku using this 3 that we earned earlier and I didn't use. So that's a 4, 4, 5. 5, 6. 4, 9. 9 here, presumably. 3, 7. So that's 7. That's 3. That's 3. And that is a 6. It looks, the Sudoku looks right. That's brilliant. What an absolutely incredible puzzle. Yes. Yes. 56 minutes. That's okay, maybe that's because it took me a while to do the instructions or something. That is sensational. 100 people have solved that in 10 days. Well, I'm not surprised. That is a world-class puzzle. That's one of the most original things I've ever done on the channel. Absolutely beautiful. And the logic, the rule set leads to logic that's very... Once you have the right thought process, it actually took me quite a while to understand it. I had to draw out like practice lines to understand what was going on. But once you could see that there had to be a one cell segment, and then you could extrapolate from that, it's sort of, and that then, because of the exact holes in the fog, you could actually see where the one cell segment had to be, and it gave you a digit, and you could build the line from that. I mean, how clever? How clever is IcyFruit? The answer is very, very clever indeed. I love that. That is absolutely amazing. Taryn Edgerton would be proud of that, and I'm very relieved to have solved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. Enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.